Some new polling came out on the Republican plan to kill the Affordable Care Act today. 4 different polls showing that approval for that bill ranges from a high of 27%, which is terrible, down to a low of 12% support, which is just astonishingly inhumanly bad. 12% approval. People would rather get hit by a car. Nevertheless, the Senate says they are still trying to pass this thing, and so Washington today looked like this.
My medicine costs almost $3,000 a month. My medicine costs almost $3,000 a month. Without it, I'll go back to paralysis. Without it, I'll go back to paralysis. I might die. I might die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. We don't want to die. We don't want to die. Shame on you. Shame on me. Shame on you.
Today in Washington was like this everywhere. About a dozen of Colorado Senator Cory Gardner's constituents there staking out his D.C. office today. But he was just one of a pack of Republican senators who were doorstopped by protesters opposed to the Republican bill to kill the Affordable Care Act. At one point today, Capitol Hill reporters noted that every single floor in the whole Russell Senate office building had at least one protest going on all at once against the Republican senators on the health bill. Protesters sat down under a cluster of American flags outside Senator Lisa Murkowski's office. They sat down inside Senator Rob Portman's office, in the sitting area at his office. Portman's staff reportedly asked the Capitol Police to please not make any arrests of those protesters, but police nevertheless brought out the zip ties and arrested some of those people from Portman's office anyway. Same thing over at Marco Rubio's office. About a dozen people held a makeshift march in a tight Senate hallway outside his office door. 8 more people got picked up by police there and thrown out of the Capitol. Pennsylvania Senator Pat Toomey had a small human blockade sitting outside his D.C. office today. One of those protesters was arrested and dragged away by his arms. This friendly-looking group here swung by Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton's office, a lot of them from the local Indivisible chapter that calls themselves the Ozark chapter of Indivisible. That group included this young woman from Northwest Arkansas. Her name's Katie McFarland. She uses a wheelchair, as you can see. She told Senator Cotton's office staff today that the Medicaid cuts in the Republican bill would kill her. She was arrested today, her hands put up in zip ties. By the end of the day, at least 40 people were arrested at the U.S. Capitol today in protest against the Senate Republicans' health bill. Protests were outside the Senate offices, too, in considerable numbers. More than 2,000 people reportedly in the streets today protesting against the Republicans' bill. In the face of all this pressure, Republicans in the Senate failed to bring their bill to a vote this week. They pulled it because they knew it would fail. Their hope now, presumably, is to go dark for a while, to work on this bill quietly, behind the scenes, without fanfare, with the hopes that they can twist the arms of all those no votes hard enough that they can get this bill passed down the road when fewer people will be paying attention and fewer people will be showing up at their offices. But you know what? This weekend, the U.S. Senate leaves D.C. and they all go home for their holiday recess. And you can guess what will be waiting on their doorsteps to welcome them home.